I was thinking about how people often experience shame about past relational choices. That we look back and we say, I wish I could have said something different in that moment. I wish I could have, not broken up with them because I was so triggered. I wish I didn't send that text. Wish I didn't say that thing. I wish I didn't, behave that way. If I hadn't, then I would get them back. Then we would be together now, and there would be this amazing relationship that we would have. And we think that there's this alternate universe that exists at the exact same time where there's a better story and a better life and a better way of being that would have happened had we been different, had we made a different choice, had we shown up differently. And we sort of do that with all the moments where we fucked up in our lives. We steal something, we cheat, we marinate in the moment where the pain is, where the loss came, where, we can't redo it and we wish we could. And there's a number of things that are happening there. One is that we're not able to actually be in the now because we believe, and we're in deep pain because we believe and adopt the idea that there's an alternate reality where we chose better, acted better, did better, communicated better, and there's a better version of us. A version of us that isn't reactive, that isn't manipulative, that isn't out of integrity, that has perfect communication. This perfect fucking person that doesn't exist. But we punish ourselves that they do exist because then the person we are now will experience shame. And so I want to walk through what's actually happening there, and that is that if you do not learn from the actual moment. So let's say you were in the kitchen, you were having an argument with your partner, or you're on the phone, and you say something or do something that pushes them away, or you break up with them because you're mad, or you cheat on them when you're out, or you do anything. If you do not pay attention to that moment and learn from it, from the part of you that you have been dragging in the fucking mud and shaming for the last while, where this younger version of you, I don't even care if it's last week, but this younger version of you, it could be when you're 8 and you said something and your mom or dad lost their shit. That has nothing to do with you, by the way. But you get to this, if you do not turn towards it, if you do not learn from it, then you will not change your life moving forward. Now, the idea that there is a version of us that actually did the right thing in that moment, that's what's kind of fucked up about this. What's happening there is we create this alternate reality where we have a better version of us, not paying attention to the fact that right now there is a better version of you available if you would just learn from the moment you fucked up. And we all fuck up, man. That's the point of life. That's the point of actually being alive, is to make mistakes so you can learn and grow and be a better human being. But if you're so busy dragging yourself in the fucking mud, and you're so busy not learning and listening to what is going on in the moment that hurt, then you will not change your life. And here's what's going to happen. God, the universe, whatever your belief system is, I don't care, is going to deliver that exact same moment with a different person. And you're going to get the opportunity to choose a different path. But if you do not learn from the previous moment, you will not choose differently, because you won't have taken the time to non-judgmentally observe your behaviors to figure out what better behavior is available to you. So what happens is you have this choice, right? Learn and rise and become, or don't. And shame really is the learning that there was a better behavior available to you now. But before you made the behavior, you weren't at your best. That was the best you could do with what you could at the time, based on all your tools, and that's a hard thing to learn, because people go, but I knew better. You didn't know enough. That's why you didn't choose better. So you can either do the cycle of keep doing the same shit, dating the same people, hitting the same relationship upper limits, or you can actually turn towards it and learn it and change your life and change your future and actually create the future that you think some parallel version of you is living, where you're together with this person that you're not together with now. And this is why we have to start to look at life and think, okay, well, life is either happening to me and nothing great happens and no one ever wants to choose me, and why does everyone leave me? Or you can actually just go, well, what is life doing for me? If the universe doesn't, I mean, the universe doesn't fuck up anything. This planet isn't just a giant rock with a bunch of people sitting on it, just like your body isn't skeletons with a bunch of cells in it. We are all part of this symbiotic system, and there are laws to how the universe works that are very real. You never get anything for free. There's no such thing as a shortcut. There is no such thing as a hack. There are only real, incredible long cuts you can take to everything. There are no ways of having to do everything. That's just bullshit. There's no God you have to believe in. There's no right belief system. There's no, like all of these things are just bullshit to get in the way of what you already know to be true. And if you don't listen to what you already know within you, then you're going to feel pain. I mean, that's just the truth. The pain of not paying attention and pretending you don't hear what you hear, that is the greatest. That's existential pain. That shit hurts. It's like when your religion tells you that gay people are bad, or that, this and this is not okay, and if everyone's bad, they go to hell. That's bullshit. We know that shit is bullshit. We know that doesn't actually make sense. No loving human being would believe that a kid should suffer and not be part of his community or her community or their community or whatever it is because of shit like that. Like, we already know this. And that's why the truth isn't only available to fucking monks sitting on a mountain and meditating. The truth is always right here, sitting in front of you, sitting inside of you. And it's when someone says something to someone, like bullies them, or says something mean, or communicates in a way that hurts, including ourselves when we do it, we feel the pain of not being connected to the truth. And in that moment of pain, you get to feel and decide and choose, because we all say the wrong thing sometimes. We all get tired, we all get exhausted, but the best thing you can do is say to your partner, say to someone, I'm sorry, I should have done that better. I'd like a redo. I'd like to try that over. I apologize for how I showed up. We're all waiting for someone to fucking apologize to us and to tell us how sorry they are for how they hurt us, for how they left us, for how they abandoned us. My bigger question to you is, when did you abandon yourself? Because when someone leaves us, it's usually just evidence and a mirror to us having left ourselves long before that. And when you actually look at the experience of relationship, you have this opportunity to really see deep inside your greatest struggles, the things that are hardest for you. And man, relationships are just the greatest container for growth. And we think that if we lose our partner, we lose this deep sense of self. But maybe the greatest lesson in that experience is that if you lose yourself when someone leaves you, then you were never really whole and connected to yourself in the first place. And that's the greatest lesson anyone can teach you, is that you don't need them. Now, which is different than it's great to need and depend on other human beings. That's actually really important and very healthy. But you don't need someone to complete you. But you are allowed to need and depend on people. Just don't make them your whole life, right? Don't make them your whole life. Make them an aspect of your life. Make relationship a really important aspect of your life. And the other thing that gets me real revved up is when we tolerate bullshit from family, Like, if your family does not treat you with respect, does not communicate well, listen, the global family will always be here for you. There will always be here for you who can say you are loved unconditionally. You chose wrong. I will never abandon you for that. Are you kidding me? Just learn from the mistakes you make, And that's simple. Is like, sometimes actually telling our family no and saying no to how they're showing up for us is actually the invitation for them to show up, right? And that's a whole other space, though, is recognizing that family isn't always blood. Great if it is, and that's beautiful. But we also, in our work and our relational work, we're healing stuff we inherited. And that's not easy, right? When you start to shake up a system. So anyways, as you can see from all of these people on here, there's love all around here. There's love all around here. All of these people are caring and compassionate, Everybody here loves unconditionally or is learning to. What a beautiful thing. What a beautiful experience. And that really shows you just how powerful it is to have a shared, connected conversation.